So if you're planning to study in the UK, one of the things which I want you to be aware about is the increase in the cost of living in the UK. All over the places, whether it's Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, everywhere the prices of the stuff has increased. It's really sunny out there, so I'm not sure how my face is looking like. But yeah, so that's the important topic which I want to talk in this video. So the very first thing is that if the cost of living has increased, what will be the impact on you guys? That whether you should come in the September intake, should you come in the January intake? This question always kind of floating around, isn't it? Like last year was like lockdown, this year is something different. So I want to talk something factual in this video. So the very first thing is, what is my own personal cost of living in the UK, so that you got good idea that was the food expenses, accommodation expenses, and all those stuff. So let me start with that. So that's a good starting point. So I'm staying in Glasgow, United Kingdom, and I'm staying very close to the city center. So the city center is just about 10 minutes of walk from my place, and my university is just about 5 minutes walk. So and I'm staying in a student private accommodation. Okay, so there's two types of student accommodations. One is a university owned, the second one is a private accommodations. And my recommendation is to go for a private accommodation. They've got more benefits, and also in terms of the price wise, they're quite similar. And my monthly rent for the accommodation is around £550. Now essentially there are two different types of contract. The one which I had was around 44 weeks plus 2-3 weeks extra, because I'm staying with kind of extra, for some reasons I'll be explaining in my another video, so make sure you subscribe this channel. And the second contract is of 51 weeks. And I guess if I would have gone for 51 weeks, basically I would have covered my all the summer break plus my time from September to July. Obviously that contract would have been cheaper. Then my monthly rent would have been around, let's say, 500 to 520 pounds, something like that. So it would have been cheaper. So basically it's a tip for you guys that if you're trying to stay for summer, like for full 1 year, then make sure that you go for 51 weeks rather than like me 44 weeks, because for these 2 weeks I'm paying a huge amount. I'm paying a bit extra, so I'm paying around 135 pounds per week, so which is quite kind of huge, especially for the accommodation which I'm staying in. So I'm staying at Kyle Park House, and it is one of the best accommodation. And moreover, if anyone of you is looking for the accommodation, Amber Students is a website where you should go head towards, because it's a marketplace of accommodations. Link will be mentioned in the description box below. So make sure you've booked your accommodation for the September intake as soon as possible, because the rooms are running around. So I was on the point of my monthly cost of living. So you've got my monthly rent. Secondly, in terms of the food expenses, expect and if you're someone like who knows cooking, who cooks for himself, the grocery prices would be around £100 every single month. It won't be high, it might be higher, it depends on what you're cooking, but on average it should be around £100 per month. But I am a person who doesn't know cooking, right? But this is a tip over here, like don't become like me. I'm going to suggest you at least learn how to make 2 different food recipes and just like survive on that. Like don't spend too much time learning how to make chapati. If you can learn, it's good for you, but chapati is all this thing, rice, you can get it like from it, like chapatis you get here, like you don't have to worry much about. But make sure you know how to cook some of the 2 curries, like a proper one. No, do not learn how to make Maggie. It's so simple, I can make it, right? But make sure you learn how to make like curries and good Indian food, essentially like 2 of them only, like not too much, just make your life easier. So again, if you're going to eat outside, then just increase £100 more, just it will be around £200 every single month. And I guess like these are the 2 important expenses which I've got, because city center is just 10 minutes walk from me, so I don't have to do too much of transportation. Essentially I'm saving my money on the transportation. But essentially if you're coming to any of the city, you can make there's a website called First Bus, I guess. In Glasgow is First Bus, and just install the app and you can purchase a kind of a travel voucher for the bus, and for 1 month it costs around £50 to £60. So again, you can save a bit of a money if you can get that travel pass. But essentially I'm staying close to the university. That's a benefit, that I don't have to pay for that transportation thingy. Now apart from that, like sometimes I buy this good jackets, some watches and all this stuff, which are kind of miscellaneous expenses. But for the food plus the accommodation, food if you're cooking in your house, I will say around 600 to 700 pounds should be your budget for every single month. Now, well, this is like before the increase in cost of living, because cost of living has increased just in the April month onwards. Now, to be honest, see, like when I was here in 2018, the same accommodation, the monthly rent would have been around 400 to 450 pounds. Right now, before the increase in price from the April, because this accommodation was from September last year, okay, so that time, now the increase is 550 pounds. So there's a difference of 100 to 150 pounds 2018 versus 2022. So this increase of 150 pounds. Now this is quite genuine to me, like this is quite okay, because it's just inflation. I understand inflation. Every single year your tuition fee will increase of the university, everything goes higher. But the unusual part this year is that it has gone higher by 9%, and 9% jump is really high. Now the other thing is the 9% has been jump in the inflation this April as compared to the last April. And the important point which I want to make is in terms of the increase in your wages. So every single year the national minimum wage gets increased, right? So last year I think it was for if you are like 21 years to 25 years, I guess I'll put a chart over here, but I think it was around £8.50 or something like that, £8.30 or something. But this year it has gone like £9.10. And again here the national minimum wage depends upon like what is your age. If you're less than 21, there will be a different kind of wage. Like all this information will be in the chart on the left hand side over here. But the point which I'm trying to make over here is that your salary hasn't increased as compared to inflation. I think there has been downfall. That is what I was reading on the BBC News recently, like in their article, that the salary hasn't increased much, but the cost of living has really gone high. Now you might be wondering why the cost of living has gone high, and what I actually mean by cost of living has gone high. It means that the commodities, let's say if I'm going to grocery store, I'm to buy my food, the price which I quoted £100 for the last year, now it might be around like increase of 9%, as I mentioned to you, right? So everything, if you buy a milk, it has gone high. Let's say if you own a car, the oil prices has increased. So maybe if you travel in the bus, it will be expensive now, and the oil price has increased because of the war in Ukraine and Russia, right? So that's the kind of the global impact which all these things have, because the Russia is one of the country which exports oil and the gas and all those stuff, right, to other countries, and UK is one of them, I guess so. So that's why like the cost of living has gone high. Now comes the question, like what about you guys who are watching this video, who are coming in the September intake? Now see, like these all things are not in your control, right? Last year COVID was not in your control. This year this war is not in your control. So what you can essentially do is just essentially come to the UK. You don't have to think about all these things. See, I mean, like, see, you guys take educational loans, just be prepared that there is a bit of an increase. There's an increase of 9%, but I mean you can't do anything about this. Like that is what is my personal opinion on this subject. Like, you can't do anything about this. And I guess like this will be impacting you short term, because maybe the part-time job you're not able to make up that much of a money. But let's say if you have come bit of financially prepared for your 1 year of masters as an example, and if you're able to get a sponsored job in your own particular field, then again the salaries are way higher. Like, you know, then you don't have to worry about this national minimum wage thingy, because in the companies, in the corporate jobs, the salary is way higher than the minimum wage. It's double of the minimum wage. So during that time you don't have to really worry too much. And also, like, this kind of cost of living is really kind of worrisome if you've got a family. If you're a single person, still you can manage your expenses really nicely, I will say, in that kind of context. So essentially that was my responsibility as I make these videos for you guys, to inform you that, well, okay, there are good things, but this is also another thing which you should have in your mind. But as I again mentioned, in short term it might impact you, but in the long term it's not going to impact you. What you have to focus is on your degree. You have to study, you have to get the skills, you have to get that international exposure, you have to make your network, and I hope it's going to be a positive experience when you're coming here for your studies. So I hope this video was helpful. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for regular updates. Cheers, bye bye.